Hi everyone. This is not as much a um, list review as it is a help me build a list. Um, this was an email sent to me by Rob, and Rob had taken his son to Adepticon and just, said, "What would you like?" And the son had fallen in love with bold action as he loved World War II as a theme, as a setting, and um, And Rob and his mates have started playing historical games, and so he wants to help his son build that and go to a doubles event. And he's asked me to help him do that. So let's see what it is that he's doing. I'm also going to show you just the what he wrote to me, just because it might help inform us here about what's going on. So this is his email. They want to do a doubles event in 2024. Which gives themselves a little bit of time to, build the list, build the units, which is a good idea. However, I would suggest, Rob, that you play some games with your son beforehand, a lot of them. Um, if you can get some of your mates to come over as well, and so see if you can get that rolling that way. Because if I can't tell from your email here whether you yourself is new to bold action. But it does take some getting used to and a little bit of training in order for you to do okay and feel like you're doing okay against other players who may be more competitive than you are. So I would suggest playing games first, a lot of them. So there's a list which I need to look at, which I'm going to do in a minute. Um, and basically, there's an order dice limit of 15 order dice. Rob wants to know if he should beef up some veteran units, add a second man to artillery observers and officers, swap beefy assault units with a flamethrower, have a T-34 or a BA-20. So lots of things that can be done. And here are the requirements that they are going to be using for that doubles event. Um, so it's going to be teams where you have two armies. Um, they have to be armies that were allied during World War II. Um, so a team cannot be Germany and Great Britain. Makes sense. So it's a thematic event here. One platoon may be an armored platoon. I would suggest that if you want to win such an event, armored platoons are going to be absolutely critical, um, because they are just so good at gunning down infantry, basically. They're really strong, as are theatre platoons. So whatever you do, I would suggest running either a theatre platoon or a tank platoon. This gives you the opportunity to build and paint tanks, which are always good. That's always a good thing, isn't it? We love tanks. They're just so awesome models, most of them. Buy some Rubicon; they are really cool. Um, So a team has 1400 order points max, which you can split between the forces however you want to, which means you give your son 1000 points of tanks, which would give him a lot of toys to play with, and you just have 400 points of infantry. That could be fun. 15 order dice max though, that is tough. That is really difficult at 1400 points. Um, which means that you're going to have to beef up your units quite a lot. Yeah, and then there's the ban list, which again tells you this is a thematic event, right? So you're not allowed to use lag of radios. Perfectly fine, doesn't matter much. Not allowed to use canister rounds. Naval observers, yes, they're simply overpowered. Schützen, yes, although I don't understand why they're disallowed. They're not that overpowered, but they do make Germany viable. But since they're disallowed, well, okay. So I wouldn't bring Germans. Um, IGA bamboo. Okay, um, that is overpowered for what it costs. Gurkha sections, okay. So I'm not bringing my Gurkha army. I can see that this will most of these will encourage skirmish armies, except it will discourage German skirmish armies right now. The M3 is allowed, but cannot be given the LMG, so the Darker Stewards are not allowed, which means German tank platoons, because the Darker Panzer IIIs are allowed, as is the Polizei tank. I'm immediately look at my brain go. I'm trying to break the system immediately. I'm trying to break the system. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just it's how I work. I immediately start thinking. Okay, so what's best in this system? Well, the German Panzer III is really good now. So that's what I'm running basically, right? Morale level of the lieutenant must be equal to or greater than the morale level of the majority of the units in the platoon. Okay, so you have to have an expensive lieutenant. Okay, fine. Let's see what it is that they're actually building. 15 order dice, 1350 points. So they've spent almost all the points, but have a little bit left over. Can't buy any more units. And we have 2 platoons. Yes, both of them are Soviets. I don't think you actually have to do it like that. Looking at the restrictions here, must be composed of nations. A team can be Poland or Great Britain, so you can take 2 Soviet platoons. Okay. I don't see why you wouldn't. Soviets are great. Um, No Land Beyond the Volga is a pretty good selector, although there are better selectors. Go and watch my video with Alistair on the top selectors for the Allies. There are some extremely good theatre selectors, but this is okay. And you're buying a veteran lieutenant basically because you got extra men, veterans on most of your stuff here. I think I would buy him one extra man, because small team veteran, they're going to be very survivable, and you get the SMG for free. Um, so spend a little bit of points on that. Veteran squads, 6-man units, double Panzerfaust. Wow, these are good. And I think the Panzerfaust are actually warranted in this meta here, because you're going to see some tanks and tank-heavy platoons. Forward Artillery Observer, you've got the points, haven't you? You really have got the points. He might also benefit from a second man. Scout Squads, very nice. That means you have early forward deployment. You can move up, be on objective from turn 1. Really good. Yes. The combination of rifles and submachine guns gives them a bit of range. I think they're better with submachine guns, so you might also spend some points on this. Storm Group with 8 submachine guns, armed to the teeth. What does armed to the teeth do? Just a sec. Can't remember all the special rules here. The enemy cannot take advantage of defensive positions. Yes, baby! That is great. That means that squad is perfect for storming entrenched enemy infantry in area terrain. Just have them go straight for that sniper or that group of scouts or whatever. Just have them run straight at it and then submachine gun them and charge. Yeah, that is awesome. You're paying points for it, but they're really good. And since there are no Gurkhas, this is going to be top dogs on the tabletop, unless there are actually Polish Lancers, which are even better than Gurkhas. Which again means I don't understand why they're banning Gurkhas but not Polish Lancers. Anyway, free rifle squad, nice. Sniper team, veteran. It doesn't need to be veteran. Save the points here. Use them on something else. A junior lieutenant veteran, yes, might also benefit from an extra man. So save the points on the veterancy for your sniper team and spend those on making these a little bit beefier. Veterans, double Panzerfaust, okay. Um, there is actually better anti-tank units, you know this, right? And they are really good modeling opportunities, by the way. Really good modeling opportunities, um, because who doesn't like to paint a dog, right? So the bomb dogs for the Soviets are the best anti-tank units in the game, hands down. And right now you are running not you're using all your points on infantry here. You're not running any tanks. Double veterans with Fausts, another forward artillery observer. Okay, I like the artillery observers because no land beyond the Volga. I think that's the one where you get two shots. So that is very, very competitive. You're gonna have to buy them, but it's very, very good. Another Scout Squad, another Storm Group. So it's basically the same, and BA-20 with flamethrower. It's basically the same for both of them. I like the BA-20. I really do. That is good. I think I would add one more BA-20 if I could. But what would I take out? Because they're already at the limit for what they can bring. Hmm. Yeah, Uh, I wouldn't remove anything. Maybe the sniper. Not sure how useful the sniper is going to be. So you could remove the sniper, give yourself another BA-20. Um, as for the points, use them to beef up. First priority would be to beef up your lieutenants. Once you've spent points on beefing them up by one man, you should beef up your artillery observers. That will make them more survivable by one man. And then the rest of the points should be spent on getting that sniper to be a BA-20 instead. Um, you could exchange one of these units with a with an engineer unit, um, and give them a brain carrier. So this would turn into a brain carrier instead of a BA-20. A brain carrier, I think, is 60 points, so that also fits. Um, so an engineer unit is just very, very useful as a tool. It's a little bit finicky to use because you have several elements. You have the transport, you have the engineers, you have the flamethrower. All of that needs to work together, but it's just very useful as a tool. Um, Good luck. I really like this as a project. Good luck to your son as well. Let me know how it all went. Cheers.